asking Alexandria. They don't want what we want on Real Rock Nights. And these guys, man, now we added their song Scratching at the Surface to this show a couple weeks ago. And they're getting a little help on it from the Veer Union. But in my opinion, these guys really don't need it, man. Now, it's been making big leaps on the Foundations charts. In turn, you listeners, you've been moving it up our flagship station playlist as well. And it's time to meet two of the minds behind, I can't think of a different way to say it, a freaking musical weapon, man. 2shadows.
Oh,
2shadows. 2shadows is the name of the band. And I got Glen and Tryst here. And guys, thank you so much for being on. What can I say, man? When I heard your tune, Scratching at the Surface, I was like, holy shit, man. This is something we've needed for a long time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shep. Man. That's awesome.
Now, you guys are out of Vancouver, right?
Yes.
Now,
Vancouver, Canada.
Are you all from Vancouver? Oh, if I say Vancouver, I think people would know as Vancouver, Canada, but
Isn't there a Vancouver in the States as well?
I guess you're right. I think there's a couple different ones. So I think you're probably right, but I don't know. I just always have it in my head that people have more than 3 brain cells. So, and I got to remember there are people out there like me that only have 2. Now, is the whole band, are you guys all from the same area?
Actually, no, we're all from BC, like the province that we live in, but
okay.
Our guitar player is from a close by city, but other than that, all of us are from like quite a ways away from Vancouver. So we're kind of spread out.
How did you hook up then?
Well, we all moved down to the city to pursue music, and we met in the city, but I guess where we were born and raised, we're not from Vancouver originally.
Oh, okay. All right. When did the band known as 2shadows actually begin? Because I'm guessing that you didn't start. This isn't the first incarnation of a band for you, correct?
No. I started it with a couple past members back in 2015, and we did a few things, but kind of didn't really work out with kind of the past members. And then I ended up meeting the current lineup, has been the lineup for about 3 years now. And we've been just solidly working and kind of building stuff until the point where we ended up meeting with the, getting the attention of the label guys. And that's really took off from there and opened up a lot of doors for us.
So getting the attention of label guys, and you guys recently got signed too, right?
Yes. Okay. Signed to Rock Shop Records. Yeah.
How does it feel to be picked up by Rock Shop and actually like looking to a career doing what you love to do?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's been a long road for us for sure. It's been super, super hard. And just even thinking back to like Christmas of like, I think 2018, I went back home for the holidays, and like when I was up there, just like obviously friends and family are asking like, oh, how you doing up in the big city? Like you must be doing so well and everything. It's just like at that point I was here for like 5 years, like roughing it out, trying to make some kind of career out of this. And it's hard to tell them, like, what do you tell them? It's like, oh, I've been like, I'm struggling hard. Like,
I'm sleeping in my car. I'm eating bags of potatoes.
Yeah, it's hard. So it was pretty. I was pretty beat by that point. And 5 years roughing it down here, it's like couch surfing and everything. It was pretty hard. And these guys helped a lot, like bring a lot of spirits up. But at that point, it got down to like, I was like, hey, I think I got like 1 year of struggling left in me. Like if I can't make something happen, and I don't know, we just, these guys pushed me and we pushed each other to keep pursuing and keep working our butts off. And ended up finally kind of being able to get the right songs together and get it in front of the right people, and met the Rock Shop Records guys, and they completely blew a whole bunch of doors open for us. And it's pretty cool. It's definitely something. It's like, man, if we didn't stick through and stick with it, It's like,
Yeah, it'd be nothing.
yeah.
It's so true, man. Like it's such a endurance thing. Like, I mean, this guy's the real hustler here. He's got 2 years of that on me. I joined up, and then it was, yeah, well 3 years since then now. But like, my goodness, you're just always trying stuff, and you never know if it's gonna work or not. And then you meet people, and sometimes it, becomes something, sometimes it doesn't. And then this was kind of like the stroke of luck. Finally, we met the right people, and everything came together. And like, voila, I guess here we are all of a sudden.
Oh, congratulations, man. It's to have all that hard work, and because I've talked to different people that go through all that crap, and then finally do what you were talking about. It's like, okay, if I don't hit it by such and such time, I'm done. And then like they hate their lives.
Yeah.
For the rest,
it's hard when that's been your dream your whole life and you've worked so hard for it, but you get to like the end of your line. Like, I don't know, it's hard to say never quit, but eventually, like, it's just like, man, I don't have enough in the tank. But it's totally changed everything around. Like, oh, we're so stoked how everything's been doing, and like this is like our jobs now. We like now like look at even this. We get to talk to you and share our love for music, and this is like awesome. It's like it's either that or sitting in a cubicle. This is so much better.
Well, it's like you hustle for 5 years or whatever, and then it's all worth it. Like all of a sudden in a second, you never know when it's gonna come, but when it happens, it's like boom, it's just the payoff is there.
It's and it makes it worth, because I know you've both gone through this, and it makes it worth having all the people in your life tell you you're nuts. And then getting to this point and being able to tell them to go suck your ass or something.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, I got I'm going to get this stuff out of the way before I forget about it. I've got 2 questions from listeners of mine that sent in, and one is pretty much your normal stuff, but one really freaking impressed me. And I'm going to read the whole thing because
it let's do it.
Kind of cool. Okay. This guy, Steve, is the name. Shout out to Steve. Okay. He says 2 things that I've always believed help a band or artist that has great talent is the look, i.e. stage persona, and the believability of that persona. I've seen countless artists try to pull off a persona, but their career tanks after one album because they're just trying to put on a show and the fans see they're posers. My question to 2shadows is the look and feel of the band, is that who you are inside?
Yeah,
big time.
We pretty much live and breathe all of that stuff for sure. We've definitely, like, lots of us grew up like loving bands like Alice Cooper and like even like Kiss, just all of those theatrics. So from a very young age, we all pretty mutually fell in love with those bands, and like even Slipknot and like lots of those bands are very theatrical. And
Yes.
it's definitely like pretty we're invested in a lot of that stuff and have been for a long time, and all the visual aspect of everything.
Yeah, and it's like, man, like I couldn't do a persona, honestly. Like it must be so tiring. Like I see why it doesn't work for people, because they do it for years and then they just all of a sudden, they're stuck and they feel trapped in this thing. And like to me, doing music, like I need to just go out and like be myself, do my thing. I don't want to be in a box or any of this stuff. I just want to like go out, be loose, do what I want, and that's really that simple, man. Like we just, throw on our outfits, do it up how we're feeling like we'll even change our stage makeup based on the day, depending on what we want to do. And it's just, we try to keep it loose and try to keep it real. And that's sort of what the whole band is like founded on.
God, I'm so glad to hear you say that, man. Because when I saw that question, I was like, wow, that is a really good question to ask, and because I think the look of the band is freaking awesome myself.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
And when I saw that question, I was like, oh crap. And I actually wondered, I was like, man, I want to like find out what Glen and Tryst will say about this, but are they going to get pissed off at me?
Oh no.
They're going to be like, we're not a radio band, and then just hang up on me or something. So I'm so glad to hear you say that. Yeah, it is totally who you are. And it also means longevity for your career. I believe.
I hope so. Hope so.
And the second one, and this is just the goofy, crappy stuff.
Oh, let's do it. I'm ready. I'm so ready.
Lauren wants to know if James wearing masks. Oh, if James was wearing masks before it was mandated.
Long before.
we have got this question before, and the answer is yes. It was from the beginning. I think the first photo shoot he even did with the band, he had the mask on.
He
So it
was okay. So it's a whole thing.
He's way ahead of the curve. He's way ahead of everybody.
You could probably find some old photos from 2016 or 17 where he's had it. Yeah, I think it literally started. I had like a mask laying around. I think I bought like a mask online somewhere, like the one of, I think he still wears it sometimes, but I just had it laying around and we were just toying with some stuff for a photo shoot. And he's just like, "What's that?" I was like, "Oh, it's a mask. I don't really dig it though. It doesn't look good on me." And it hasn't left his face. It's always, it's every show, everything. It's it's pretty crazy.
So
He's been doing that for a long time.
No. He can't just have one mask.
He
That thing would
does.
He actually has just one mask. That's so funny.
Seriously?
I had to think about it.
Doesn't the thing get all nasty and gross?
Probably. I don't think he's ever washed it.
I like to think that it goes through regular maintenance. That's what I tell myself.
It's got like metal spikes all over it. I don't know if you can wash that.
That's why
I don't know.
I have a friend who has a side business, and her side business, she makes rock clothing. So if James wants some masks, I'll hook him up with Pink Noise Collections. And because they're making a bunch of the spiked masks, and
I'm sure he'd love that.
She would love that to have like some more. Hell, you would dig the band too. They're kind of like an industrial, like imagine a Nine Inch Nails with a female.
Nice.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So they're kind of decent. No, I wanted to ask you about your songwriting. Like when you're writing, do you? Well, of course, I know that you play off each other, but do you go in with preconceived notions of what you're going to do, or do you just kind of go in, noodle around, and figure stuff out?
Oh, that is such a good question. We kind of we have a bit of our like artistic table, so to speak, and people, bring things to the table. Someone will show up with an idea. Usually it's like, it's fairly far along. These days, everybody's got their home studios and all this different stuff. Or like there'll be an idea or like kind of a, lyric or something like that. And then, somebody will start with the heavy lifting. And then at some point, all of us will jump in like at once and just start going like to town on it, basically.
And then does it come together pretty fast? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like we've got quite a bit of different ways that we've used to writing or used for writing. But like, for example, the last song that we were kind of working on that we actually haven't finished yet, but it's like I started with a lot of the instrument stuff. And then Glen came over and helped me finish a few ideas that I was kind of stuck on. But once we had like the basics down, like it got shipped off to Mitch, our drummer, to start writing some drums for it and start dialing in the drums just from the basic ones that I programmed just for the song or whatever. He started writing drums and then sent it to Glen. He started working on all the lyrics. And then our other guitar player does pretty much all of our programming as well, electronics and stuff. So it kind of gets distributed and everybody kind of like puts in their share and really starts molding it. And then we kind of like bring it together and kind of polish it. And then from there, it goes into the actual studio and really gets like worked over after that.
Okay, so that's when you finally all get in a room together, and because you put all the separate parts together individually in your home studios, and then you finally come together at the end when you basically have, you would have more than an outline actually, when you basically have all the puzzle pieces, and then when you get in the room, you can put them all together.
Yeah, put them together and make everything money.
It's got to sound like money.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, and now the Veer Union, how was it your record company that hooked you up with those guys, or how did you actually begin this collaboration?
Well, Crispin came in, the singer for the Veer Union, came in and started working with us on like helping us write and stuff, and started like is producing all of our stuff.
Okay.
So that's kind of how that started initially, and we just like, especially on like Scratching at the Surface, like he had such a big part in writing that song and with us, and helped us out so much with it, that by the end of it we were like, or would you be interested in featuring on this with us, because you've been such a big part of like writing and everything. And he was super stoked and down, so we made it happen. It was cool.
It's awesome when I hear the stories of how that stuff happens, because it's so nonchalant. So many times it's just like, hey, you know, or it's something as stupid as, hey, we should do this. Yeah, let's. And then the next thing you know, they're in their home studio doing a cover of Talks to Angels or something. Now I forgot what my last question was. I had one last question, and then we're getting, well, first of all, I'm going to tell you that this is your show. So you guys ever have anything you want to promote? Real Rock Nights is for the fan artist experience. And you have anything you want to promote. And like I've told countless people, even if it's something as stupid as like a 2-minute phone video of you saying hi to your fans or something, promoting a show when that is actually up and running again, go ahead, send it to me. I'll throw it up on the website. I'll put the audio on the show. You know, it's all good. This is your show. Like I told you, the artists are the ones that are actually imaging the station. They're the actual voices of the show. So it's yours, man.
That's pretty cool.
Whatever, if you got something. Well, it's I started this too because I know how hard you bands work and bands artists work, and I saw over the years how much they got taken advantage of by radio, by companies, by whatever. So, you know, I do this just because I like it, man.
Well, that's awesome.
That's
People,
cool,
guys like you are working hard and helping us too. So thank you so much for all of this.
Yeah, thanks, Shep. That actually means a lot, man. That's like really, really cool to hear.
Oh, and I just remembered my last question. See, I waste enough time. It finally comes to my 51-year-old brain. Scratching at the Surface. Now, what were you thinking about when you came up with that idea for that tune? Because I have something in my head that I'm thinking, but I want to know what the actual answer is.
That's like what the song is kind of about,
yeah.
Okay, so it's so funny to think about, because it started out as basically a completely different song, and then that was when we all got in the room, it just evolved into this totally different thing.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like what it ultimately became, I guess, is it's a sort of almost a story about just some of the stuff we're talking about before, like be feeling like you're being put into a box, like people are trying to define you. They're like, do this, do that, do it like this, and just about like trying to identify yourself in like a, you know, world or society or whatever, when people like to just think they know you. They take one look at you, they're like, oh yeah, you're like one of those guys, or you're like this, you're like that. And then just kind of like pass judgment. And it's about just like the pressure of feeling that and trying to just like break out of it, I guess. And like different, you know, carve out your own piece of the world and like be yourself. And I guess like stand up to people trying to like just keep you down, really.
Okay. All right. That's damn close to what I was thinking about. But also it's like, I get a vision of a person locked in a coffin.
I hope you've seen the video on that note. Because we actually, we had a coffin, and I was in the coffin in the video. That was like a whole bit for it, because that was like a super big like visual piece.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I'm dead serious, man. Yeah. The first, or maybe not the first shot, but within the first like 15 seconds, like I'm literally in a coffin. And that's like the first lyric. The like, why can't I see? Why can't I hear? Is like that, you know, buried alive. That's exactly what it is.
Okay, that's kind of creepy. I gotta watch that video now. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And what do you say we give everybody a taste of Scratching at the Surface?
Cool.
Absolutely,
Sounds
man.
good.
Yeah,
Thanks
thanks.
again for having us on here. It means so much to us.
Thanks so much, Shep.
Absolutely. I
And
appreciate it.
thank you to
man.
everyone out there that's watching as well. Super cool.
Thank you guys so much.
I almost forgot the name of the band.
No, it's all good. I don't even know how many bands you interview and names you have to try to remember.
Oh man.
No hard feelings
Oh,
ever.
Dude, I had to get out of was kind of in a philosophical headspace because I just like was it like an hour ago now I interviewed Vajra, and she's very has like very Eastern philosophically influenced. And so like we got into like some conversation.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so I had to kind of get my headspace or get back into the rock headspace, so to speak, because I was kind of out of it for a sec. But anyway, okay, I'm going to shut up and you are going to listen to this song because Scratching at the Surface is freaking awesome, man. Glen, Tryst, thank you again. I really appreciate it. This is 2shadows, Scratching at the Surface. It's real rock nights, closer to the fan artist experience.